by Dino.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, idealists and visionaries, I'm your boy Ideal Tone, and I'm here to make it known that we are back with another episode of Binge or Cringe, and this is the Psychopaths episode. You know, we're going to explore the mind a little bit. What's the color of your hue? I still don't know the color of mine. But we're going to figure it out today. Maybe. I don't know. I don't really think I want to dive too much into my thoughts like that. There's some dark stuff in there sometimes. But without further ado, we have with me Cobalt70.
What up, what up?
And we had no. And we have the boy, the one, the only, if he unmutes himself, the nullified saint. No.
He may not be ready.
Hello. No, we couldn't hear you if you said something because you unmuted yourself. Well, he's not ready. Why be in the thing if you're not ready, no? Why? Why? Why would you do that to me? All right. No, are you there? I think he's having connectivity issues. Okay, we're gonna just move on. He'll figure it out. I can't lead on him. But yeah, so like I said, today we're talking about psychopaths, as you can see to the screen on my left or right, if depending on how you're viewing this. But it's definitely my left. Yeah, man. Psychopaths is an anime that are you using Discord from your phone or from the Xbox? No, because you could do it from Xbox. You know that, right? And if it's not working on Xbox, try it from your phone, bro. You've done it on your phone multiple times. He said it in the chat. But yeah, so with that being said, man, Psychopaths, let's see, Psychopaths is like one of the animes that, like, if you didn't watch it, is one of those ones you definitely need to like look into, because
it's an experience.
It's definitely Absolutely. An experience. Like, there's so much that's going on in this futuristic world, you know, like
if I could pick an anime in the last 20 years that would be reminiscent of something you would have seen in the early 90s, the golden age of anime, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
I personally think the golden age is still going on because you're getting some great shit today. But this would be the closest to it. The way that they did anime in the 90s was not the way they do it now. It's a lot more kid-friendly now than it was then. Then
That's
it was
true.
very serious. It was very gritty. You had a very jaded view of a futuristic world that you live in.
Mm-hmm.
And this captured that storytelling that you look for in anime, that substance. And not a lot of anime can say that they do that. I mean, most things, they have a very one-track storyline. You know, it's very, very straightforward. This one forces you to ask questions. And I love anime like that. Anime that its entire world that it exists under is under precepts that you have to kind of like question at every turn. It makes for a fantastic anime.
That's true. So like, yeah, so like literally, it's, as Kobo said, it's one of those animes that, like, that was smack dab in the middle of a newer anime, but it also hit the mark of like earlier anime, like they had that grunginess. Like, all right, if I had to say, and it's not like it was a lot of fighting or anything like that, but there was combat here and there. But if I had to say like the grunginess that I could compare it to, would probably be like the grunginess of like Yu Yu Hakusho, DBZ, and I mean like original true blue DBZ when they looked like they was brawling, they was brawling. You know what I mean? That's the edginess I get from that.
It's definitely a more cerebral anime than the action is high stakes.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
And you're not watching it for the fights. You're watching it for the story. You're
Right.
watching it. The fights are ancillary to the story. You know.
So, but it's a lot. It's if I had to put it out as what I think it is, there's a lot of mental psychosis going on, obviously because it's called Psychopaths, but it's more than that. There's thriller, there's diving into the mind, what makes a person a person, what makes a killer a killer.
Give them a quick rundown of the plot so people understand what they're getting into, and then we'll expound upon how its entire idea is just interesting.
Yeah.
You know?
So basically, Psychopaths is about the main character is a girl. I believe she's not an what is she? She's not an enforcer.
No, she's not an enforcer, but she's no.
She's in charge of the enforcers, or
she's in charge of the enforcers.
Yeah,
she's actually a detective.
Yeah, but, she's a detective, and she's
assigned to a unit where she's going to be watching enforcers, which are actually criminals in the eyes of the state.
Mm-hmm. So, all right, so basically break it down. The main character is a girl. Okay, she ends up. It's her first day on the job. Soon as first day on the job is already a guy that they're looking for who's probably who's losing his mental stability, and he's either thinking about doing a homicide or something along those lines, or killing himself, or suicide. His mental stability is not great. So, in this futuristic world, she ends up joining her new partner. Like I said, it's her first night on job. It's raining, it's dreary, it's dark, it's at nighttime, and they're at the scene of the crime looking for this guy, where now the enforcers appear on the scene, which the second main character, which they all have their own main character info and everything. Like, they all have their own backstories, and and that's one of the things I love. You don't just learn about one, you learn about multiple of them. But the second main true character, who I think so, is named Kagami. Kagami is one of the enforcers, and they call in the main units or the main detective, the lead detective, who's already been on the job for a while. He calls the enforcers the dogs, the hunting dogs, because they're technically criminals in this new system called the Sybil system. The Sybil system is literally, hey Rob, oh, you love this anime? This is a great anime, man. The Sybil system is literally about how the new government is controlled by controlling people's emotions and mental stability.
Emotional states,
emotional states and mental stability.
The whole system itself is built upon this idea that they could read your hue in a way, and what your hue is a mixture of your emotional state and your psychological state, and it's idea is that if you fall between certain ranges, they would consider you homicidal or suicidal, and they send in enforcers to do the dirty work, because these inspectors, they want to keep their hues as clean as possible, whereas these enforcers in most cases are criminals who already have compromised hue.
Yeah, and they have compromised hues because technically these people they have those mental instabilities, or they got to that point where their hue, which is these are phrases that they use, hue, and their hue became cloudy. The darker your hue gets, the more they're going to consider you a criminal in their eyes, because they think that that's more instability, that's more emotional instability as well as psychological instability, and that combination together is what the civil system has brought to the Tokyo government as in like, okay, these are potential criminals. These are the people we have to hunt down and lock behind bars. But at the
You
same
quickly are invited into this world where everyone's. It's not just the fact that the civil system controls the enforcement; it controls multiple aspects of the life.
right,
That you're in this city that's primarily driven by the civil system. Your job when you get out of high school, your placement is based off the civil system, which judges what you're capable of and where it thinks you would do your best.
exactly,
And you travel through this through the eyes of Akami, which is a young girl who had passion for understanding the world she's in, and this is the job she gets assigned when she gets out of high school. And
right,
you go through her dealing with how to judge these people who she's not entirely sure whether they're good or bad people. And throughout each case and each story, you get to know all these hunting dogs, which and most people in her position wouldn't humanize, because to do so would basically question the system itself.
and not only that, humanizing them and getting to know them and getting closer to them is the potential has the potential of making your own hue cloudy, which can turn you into a
with
criminal.
people with bad hues invariably affects your hue.
Exactly. So
Now let's meet the protagonist.
Yes.
The protagonist is a man who sits outside the system. God, what is his name?
Kagami.
No, not Kagami. That his nemesis.
You mean the antagonist? You said protagonist.
Oh, did I? Okay, yeah. Thank you. The antagonist.
I
The
forgot his name.
antagonist is a villain who the system itself has individuals whose hue cannot be read, and they show up, and the entire system focuses to grab them.
Yes.
And we spend most of this first season going after this guy, and you had the protagonist and the antagonist.
And here's
on
the
both
thing.
sides
And here's the thing.
battling.
Going after this guy where no one knows who he is, no one's ever seen him, because he never really truly gets his hands dirty himself. He implements others. But at the same time, it doesn't even matter if he gets his hands dirty because, like Kobo said, his hue cannot be read. It can't.
Because it can't be read. The system itself wants them to ignore him, but they keep running into him.
Yeah.
And he keeps trying to trip the system up.
And it's if I had to put it as a perfect example of for people who might grasp this better, people who like vampires, he's basically like the civil system's version of a daywalker.
Yeah, that's a good analogy.
Like the sun, like a daywalker can't die by the sun. He's not going to die or get captured or even be found if he doesn't want to be found because he can control his hue to the point it varies. His hue could drop to zero.
Because he can control his hue, whenever these hunting dogs aim their guns at him, the guns will refuse to fire because it will read the hue of the individual it's firing at to keep them in line. So this guy's never even, like, every time they aim their gun at him, they can't even shoot the guy, even though they know he's the worst criminal.
Yes. And here's the thing. This man is so far gone in a sense that he knows that he can't be judged, and because he can't be judged, his infatuation with the civil system is so saturated that he constantly picks at it. He fights at it. He does things with other people or influences other people. Hey, do this, blah, blah, this, jump into your urges to see what the civil system will do. And then every time the civil system ends up confronting him, especially in the form of the dominators with the enforcers, it's just like a game to him. It's a game. He's trying to push the civil system to the edge to the point that he wants to see if it can actually affect him. And it's crazy. Like it's just the mind games that you just love, man. Like,
oh yeah. And now we'll meet the protagonist. The protagonist is Kagami, and Kagami was previously an inspector himself, but trying to figure out why his previous partner had died, his hue got clouded, and he eventually became a criminal, and so he was a perfect candidate for becoming a hunting dog. Now, throughout the series, it's him pushing the limits of what he can get away with as an enforcer, while kind of being leashed by Tsunemori. And it's sort of like a cat and mouse thing where while they're both going on these cases, you're getting to know both the world they live in, the rules that are applied, where the civil system is kind of starting to fail or be questionable, and where it was wildly successful.
Exactly.
And probably one of the best written animes in the last 20 years. Like, I would put it in my top 10 when describing anime that has a compelling storyline.
Right. No, you there?
No, over nobody because y'all just kept going. But
yeah, well, you could have said something at any point in time. You know how this show goes.
I'm not gonna speak. You know, y'all are getting into it. I ain't gonna speak over y'all. You know, I was listening.
Well,
actually.
no, now you can. We want to hear. Let's hear your take on Psychopaths, because you were excited when we brought this one up.
Oh, dude, I just started just the other day when someone told me this, we're gonna go over it. Legit, I wake up at 4:20, 4:30 in the morning. You know what? You know what I've been. You know how late I've been watching the show? Well, 1 o'clock.
Yeah,
I've been binging that shit, and I haven't really been binging it, but like the fact that I'm staying up this late because I just keep going after episode after episode, and I'm like, dude,
Because it keeps you coming
to
back.
bed. If I do not go to bed now, there is a life threat of people getting ran over by trucks. Like legit. It's a really good show, dude. Like I can't wait till this weekend. Tonight I'm gonna binge some more after this. Honestly.
It sits in my top 10 in storytelling.
It's actually really great, dude. It's disturbing as shit, though. I can tell you right now. We ain't ready for it. We ain't ready for it. Oh, dude.
Yeah, man. And there's so much that encompasses this show, and not to mention we're just strictly talking about season 1 right now. Strictly.
I know. Strictly. It was so successful and so popular at the time it dropped in early 2000s, or it was like 2013. 2012, I think. Let me double check. When it dropped, it was instant hit, and it was airing at the same time as you had a bunch of great anime airing that season. And it stood hands and feet above the rest. It was amazing.
Exactly.
It immediately got second season and a third season. I believe they have 3 movies now.
Yeah, 3 movies
with a new one coming out this week, and they've kept the story going.
And I think
there's so much more.
I think there's a 4th season, isn't there? Or is it not coming out yet?
Absolutely.
Yeah, there's a 4th season.
That's
how good it is.
Oh God, I almost want to rave about the next season because the next season.
Let's hold off. Let's hold off.
So
that's part 2.
She's coming back next season.
That's part 2.
It's starting right back up.
Mm-hmm. So season 1, like, it was like Hobo said, it was a hit. But the thing about it is, like, there was so much that was going on in every episode. It felt like there was never a moment's rest. Especially
They've done
since
a great job of expanding the world to include other people, other fucking places. Like the last season, you get a whole new team. Whole new class of people that you don't know about, and you get to know a whole different aspect of this world they live in. That's super interesting.
Right. Not to mention, the world is completely virtual. It's real, but at the same time, there's so much virtual reality and cybernetics going on in this future. It's ridiculous. Like, you can change your whole home decorum with the push of a button. Or just with a vocalized, or just like if I was just to say like everybody has their own personal AI, like Gypsy in their homes. Like, Gypsy, can you turn Can you make the setting lavish and plushy, and then like it's not like your whole room is lavish and plushy or whatever that consists of or whatever
Look
you
here.
want it to be.
To
The
me,
moment
it
I heard
reminds me
her,
of Ghost and Shell. Oh, go on.
the moment I heard that girl say, "Hey," the little robot said, "Hey, what would you like for dinner?" That bitch said Chinese food. I said, "I wish I had that."
Oh God, yeah,
I
right.
ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, the AI's running around saying this and that and telling her how what the weather is and her horoscope and making her food and I'm like, what is this universe? Like, what is this futuristic world? And not to mention the
The
humans.
crazy thing is how they carried the conspiracy.
We're gonna get to that, but like at this, and then there's the other part. There are people who are actually cyberizing themselves, becoming androids,
Oh
becoming
yeah,
full-fledged
the whole
robots.
transcendentalism in full view. You know.
Because so many people are choosing to fight aging in this time.
Yeah.
Some aren't. So
In that
there's a
sense, it
lot that aren't.
reminded me
But
of and that way, it reminded me a lot of Ghost in the Shell's first or second gig season,
yeah,
or anime, where they explore a lot of the cybernetics, a lot of that futuristic world. But then here you have an AI controlled government and world. Like all the technology is all linked up, and like, what would that be like? It's not dissimilar to what we exist in today in some respects.
yeah, for sure. But now let's get to how much this anime can really like throw you off your rocker with this happening and that happening, and then this psychological mentality, this person breaking down. Like there's like it's so much going on. The main characters, and I don't, the whole cast, the whole main cast, like they have their own issues. And like besides the two detectives, the rest of them are all criminals. Stated by the Simba system, anyway. They're all criminals. You got the wizard tech girl who's just stays at and she hacks everything. Then you got the rest of the dogs, and then the crazy thing is like the guy detective. His father is one of the enforcers. It's like
Yeah, previous inspectors that have become hunting dogs.
and like and then these guys are like, they know what they're doing. These enforcers are literally, they're basically detectives themselves. But here's the thing: this is why the detectives have these enforcers in place, because these enforcers can get into the mind of the criminal without them having to, and them subjugating themselves to getting their hue cloudy.
Yep.
So
it's all about keeping your crime coefficient low.
Hey, there we go, crime coefficient.
Yeah. That's what it was called. That was the whole thing with them. It's your crime coefficient. Like what they mean by hue is how likely are you to commit a crime based off your emotional state, and they judge that. The system judges that, and it's in this world it's infallible. All right, until it isn't.
And here's the thing: just because your hue is getting cloudy and you're starting to become sporadic or unstable, it doesn't mean you're automatically labeled a criminal. If they catch you early enough and you're showing signs, you can get counseling. They don't just throw you into the criminal system. You can get counseling.
It's an ideal system if you have a lot of mental health. If you cared about your citizens' mental health, it would be a great idea. And it's like, imagine if your emotional state, you're super depressed, you're in a shitty place, and you can't talk to anyone about it. And then all of a sudden, they're able to put you into a program that can help you, and you've never had to say, you've never been put in a position to where you've had to seek that help because you don't know how.
Exactly.
And it's like there's so many people with mental health issues that could really use a hand. So the system itself, it seems like a good idea.
It seems like a good idea, but there's always a twist, always a dark part, a thriller,
always.
A dark horse, if you will. Something that something that a pebble that throws a ripple and creates tons of ripples in the scenario. You know what I mean? Throw that pebble in there, just causes friction, it causes destruction, no constant ripples. It destroys the Zen. So, and here's the thing: you would think the antagonist is that ripple. He seems like the ripple. They lead us to believe that he is that ripple, which he is. He's one of the ripples, but there's another ripple as well. So, but like, let's talk about the antagonist first and how him and Kagami finally met, because them two were obsessed with each other in different ways. Completely. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, Kobo. Like, they literally, their dynamic is they're obsessive over each other.
Well, it comes down to the fact that as an investigator, Kagami is probably one of the most brilliant the department has ever seen.
Oh yeah, he's highly
so brilliant. In fact, he's seeing through a lot of Sybil's flaws that they are trying to specifically hide from him. And it's part of what drives him into becoming a hunting dog, is that he's so smart. He's already figured out the truth. He just needs evidence of it. And so he's constantly not just fighting this guy who's trying to bring down the Sybil system, but he's also fighting the Sybil system itself that's trying to hide its flaws.
And its secrets.
Yep. And he sees this and he's like, oh my gosh, here's my nemesis in the Sybil system. That's how they see each other, as dueling ships in the night, you know?
So what happens was, the first time they actually meet, Kagami this guy is so obsessed with Kagami, and Kagami has no idea who this guy is at this point in time still.
Is it Kagami or Kogami, by the way?
I think I don't remember. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think it's either one. Don't get me the line, Kobo. I think it might be Kagami.
We're American. We're not Japanese. We suck. All right, leave me alone.
Look. But yeah. So Kagami is literally captured in this type of train, transported to this indoor hunting ground, and he is literally he has no dominator, no weapons, nothing, just his wit, and he is literally being hunted by a man. And literally, this man is fully mechanical. He literally has nothing left but like maybe some inner organs in his brain. Well, what's such an organ as well, but you know what I mean. But literally, and this man is hunting him. And apparently, and here's the thing. You would think because this man hunts people for sport, this is not the first time he's done it, that his hue would be cloudy. But it's the opposite for him. And he's not one of those people whose hue can't be judged. It's just that he takes so much pleasure and relaxation. Yeah, he takes so much pleasure and relaxation in what he does that his hue never gets cloudy. That's another dark twist. Hey, Chris.
Yep.
What's up, bro?
How about the Dominators, though?
Oh, man. We get into that. The Dominators is probably
the coolest gun in history.
No, it is the coolest gun in history. I already searched up where to get one because I'm probably going to dress up as Kagami as one of my cosplays moving forward. I am not lying. Like, I'm going to be a black Kagami.
Listen, when you get that shit, I'm borrowing that gun for a night. That's going to be my Halloween.
I'm going to be like this. I'm going to be like, hey, I know, look, I already looked up where to get it. I'm like, I'm getting it. I am getting me a Dominator. Okay? I'm getting it. I already know how much it is. It's worth the price. Shh. I thought my first gun would be a Destiny 2 gun. Nah, that Dominator gotta go first, baby. Like,
the villain is Shogo Makishima.
There we go, Makishima, right?
Yeah.
And he's not even that old. He's literally a younger. He's like maybe in his early 20s.
Oh no! I think Makishima is a little bit older actually.
He don't look that old. He looks really young. He looks young for his age. I'll say that. But yeah, so when Kagami and Makishima, so Kagami ends up defeating this guy that's hunting him. I think he blows him up or something like that. I can't remember exactly. Or he gets him snared in his own trap, one of his own traps. But when this happens, Shogo Makishima decides to run, and at this point, everybody's starting to meet up with Kagami, and I think Kagami gets injured and he can't chase after chase. He gets to him. He can't do much else, and he's trying to save this girl, and he's injured and he can't save her because, man, I forgot, Makishima took a girl hostage. There was a girl with Kagami the whole time. He took a girl hostage, and this is when the other main character, the girl, the 18-year-old, she comes in and she's trying to use what she knows, which is the civil system, the dominators, to judge this guy who's literally has a blade pointed at this girl's throat to kill her. And it won't judge him. It won't shift. The dominator will not move. It will not function because
crime coefficient sits within an acceptable level by the civil system, and they can do nothing to him.
And then not only that, because she tries multiple times, and his crime coefficient keeps jumping here and there, it ends up locking. The gun ends up locking on her, and she is like so distraught, so. Like at this point, I'm thinking she's going to have a mental breakdown to where her hue gets cloudy, and she starts, getting closer and closer to the rest of them, and she breaks down. Then this girl dies in front of her, dies right in front of her. She loses. It takes a little bit of a toll.
The anime. The tone of the anime. It's adult. You're gonna face real questions about situations that you would come across in a world like this, and they don't make it pretty. They don't make it pretty at all. You feel the emotional state of these characters as they go through a lot of these events,
right?
And that's where the incredible writing goes through,
And then from then on, it just progresses where this guy. He pushes civil system to the point of lockdown. People start losing their...
Almost exposing it to the world.
Lockdown, exposing its secret to the world, which we're about to get to. I want to hold off on it just for a little bit longer.
Yeah, the world is bigger than just this one region.
Yeah, so locked off, like he makes the city goes into a panic. They go into a frenzy. All law enforcement are on high alert going in. These people are looting, destroying stuff. The people who've been hiding, their coefficients are staying under the radar. Makishima and this hacker guy that he meets, they end up developing these helmets, which people can go and commit crimes publicly and do whatever they want because the helmets read off the hue and copy the hue of people who are regular servants of the civil system who have good hues and no high crime coefficients. It bounces off so that they can't be judged. They throw the whole city into a panic. The dominators won't function. Yep. Nothing. Like the whole city goes into a panic.
Oh, you're giving too much away. No more. You're giving too much of that main first season.
Look, man. Look. We only here to talk about the first season. Look, if you don't know,
so good, bro.
I need all of it. Keep going. If
you don't know, spoilers, bro. You already know what you're getting yourself into. It's already. I'm going to keep going. I don't care.
No. We're not. We can't give away the big reveal. There's a huge reveal at the end of the first season.
You can't stop me. I'm on a roll. Come on, man. Like really, the big reveal.
And then you have to go into the second season knowing this shit and just, oh god, and not only that, you're going through it and you're seeing it through the eyes of this same inspector. And mind you, everything about that first season has changed. That the world, not just her job, her coworkers, but the world they live in has changed. And this is taking place in a microcosm of Japan, where it's one of 3 places in the world where they're testing the civil system. Because they're exporting this system to foreign countries.
Yeah.
So that they can rule the people. Because outside of the civil system, everyone else is just absolutely decimated by war and famine. And the world's just not in a great place. The civil system is working so well in Japan that, like, it's one of the few high-functioning societies left in the world. And people are like foreign countries are like, well, we would like to get into the system. And so they start... Second season, third season, you're expanding that world outwards. In the movies, you're going to some of these locations to see how it's being implemented here and the types of struggles they're seeing.
Yeah,
Not
man.
only that, you're getting the story carrying from that first season and branching out.
And
It's a
not only
beautiful
that,
expansion of the world they live in.
and not only that, how the season ends, and I'm not going to give away the big reveal that Kobo's talking about, but Kagami and Makishima meet face to face, and they fight. They duke it out. They go at it. They like at the top of the Tokyo Tower, I believe. They're fighting. Okay, and Kagami pulls out a win. It was a tough fight, but he pulls out a win. This Makishima's no pushover. He's not. Pulls out a win. They capture him. I'm not going to tell you how, but evidently he escapes. And this is the point where Kagami goes rogue. He goes rogue to hunt down Makishima. The team ends up finding him where he's going rogue because Kagami's already steps ahead of them about where Makishima's going to go. So they all end up being there. Kagami's confronting Makishima. Makishima ends up getting hurt, I believe, or something like that. But he ends up running. But Kagami ends up getting away from everybody else still. Ends up chasing Makishima through a field. Gets at him face to face. There's just him. It's just Makishima, Kagami, and a gun that Kagami has. And I mean a gun, not a Dominator. A gun.
Yep.
And he finishes them off.
A gun he specifically grabbed to deal with Makishima because he knew the Dominators wouldn't work on him.
Mm-hmm.
And just so you know, everything that led up to that point goes right in the crazy overdrive mode right after that.
Mm-hmm.
And you just gotta watch it. It's so good.
It's a must watch, okay? There's so much to this story. And then, like Kobo said, it branches off completely, even more so from just here, okay? Not to mention, like, after that, Kagami's on the run. And technically he's on the run, but he's a free man at the same time. My man is Ghost.
Oh, yeah.
Kagami is Ghost, okay? And
yeah, he's a total ghost in the story. You're right. That's a perfect description of him. You hear rumors of him in other areas and shit. Mm-hmm. You know, it's crazy.
You hear stories of him doing this in another land, country. You hear these rumors and stories, okay? To the point that they even, which I'm not going to say if they do or don't, but there is considerations of going after him to hunt him down. If they do or not.
No more. You're going to give too much away.
No, I'm not saying anything else. I'm just saying if they do or not, you have to watch for yourself and find out.
Oh, yeah.
But like I said, this show is bigger than what I believe a lot of people who haven't given it a shot give it credit for.
I think that there are some people that would overlook it, but I mean, just when you get to see them pull out the Dominator in the trailers, you're going to be like, yeah, I need to watch this. I don't know many people that wouldn't. It's
the Dominator.
The
Dominator is one of the coolest things about this show, about this anime. It's one of the cool. It's like literally so cool.
You've probably seen the gun already. I guarantee you, you've seen the gun.
And the way it transforms, depending on how like bad your.
It has multiple. Yep, has multiple fire modes.
Yep.
It can stun you. It can obliterate you. Like,
and it has forms in between that. It keeps it, or like it can stun you. It can blow a hole in you. It can blow you up, or it can literally disintegrate you.
That would be my one argument about this.
It can literally disintegrate.
That would be my one argument.
What?
The gun itself and the technology, untapped resources in this anime for sure. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, you get some great views of the technology in there. Like, just I guarantee that ideas will come from this anime that will become a reality one day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Possible. But we've said a lot about this anime. No, I know.
Yeah, we geeked out
I know
hard.
we rambled on, no, but I feel like you enjoyed listening to it.
Hell yeah, I'm gonna watch the shit out of this still.
Yeah, bro. It's good, man. It's good. I will say this. I want to ask, what are your hot takes, guys? What is something about, as good as this anime is, what is something about this anime that just pisses you off, or the popular opinion you have about this anime?
For me, I want to see more of that fucking Dominator technology. Like, I want to see tons more of that shit.
Okay. No, you got one?
Yeah. What I like to see more of. That what you're saying?
No, a hot take. Something that's basically a hot take is an unpopular opinion or something that'll rile somebody up.
Oh, dude. Let's see. Honestly, I really don't like the main. I mean, where I'm at right now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not too far in. I don't like the main investigator, but I understand. You know, he
I
has to
didn't
keep
either.
You know, I don't like him right now. I feel like he definitely has his reasons. You know, but I mean, dude, like this show's crazy. I'm enjoying it. I'm about to binge it.
You know
I'm
what?
ready to
All right.
keep
Well,
going, dude.
here's
These
my
crimes are crazy, though, man.
Yeah,
Like
man.
it's really riveting how very crazy these people get.
Yeah, man.
And you know, honestly, like I was gonna say earlier, I'm pretty sure my fucking heat would be fucking terrible.
I don't think any of us are going to be walking out in the open, you know.
Yeah, definitely not.
Yeah,
But if I had to be real, man, my hot take, the girl, the girl investigator, what's her name? Akane.
Yeah.
Bruh. I don't like how her hue never gets cloudy at all. You know, like, I'm gonna be real. Like,
yeah.
Oh no. No, hold on. She does have a moment where it starts to get a little clouded.
I know that, but like for the most part, her hue is so perfect.
Well, she's able to maintain her mental state, and she's able to do this, and you see how it affects her. It absolutely affects her, but she manages it in situations where everyone else has just basically lost their shit. And, you know?
I get all that. I'm just saying it makes no damn sense. Like,
yeah,
it makes no sense. And she sticks to Kagami like a glue. She's infatuated with this boy, and
oh god, yeah,
infatuated with him. She will never admit it, but I don't know. And it might not even be like love or anything like that. That's what I'm saying. She's just like, she is so curious about him as a being. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
To the point watching this.
Does it give?
Huh?
I mean,
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, does it even give her backstory in the series?
Her backstory?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Oh yeah.
I wanted to say something, but I'd rather watch it and see what happens.
So, regardless of all that, it's a great anime. Definitely watch it. I mean, watch for the Dominators. Watch it for the Enforcers, because the Enforcers, they're all cool and badasses. Real talk. Like, it has and I'll be honest with you, Psycho-Pass, if you like animes that have a little bit of thriller, have a little bit of psychosis where they dive into the mind and stuff like that, or even animes that have a darker tone to the story, watch it. Just watch it, man. What are you waiting for? Watch it.
Yeah. This one's a pretty big binge on my list of anime.
Definitely.
Like when I discuss modern anime, it's always one of the ones that I bring up. I put it in the same vein as I do all the Bleaches, all the fucking Naruto's, because it fills that type of anime that used to be real popular in the 80s and 90s. The cyberpunk dystopian worlds that you got with Ghost in the Shell, Akira, exist in that anime, but it's a more recent anime, and that's why I'm a huge fan of it.
I guess
So
that's why
good.
you were supposed to call Noel.
I'm about to say Kobo this. Yeah. So, so without further ado,
To let my mom have to go.
Mom told me she had talked to
Kobo, mute yourself. Without further ado, guys, if you haven't given Psychopaths a chance, this is your chance to give it a chance. That's all I'm gonna say.
Give it a chance. Give it a chance.
Give it a chance.
Watch
It is literally,
enjoy
it'll keep you on the edge of your seat every time. And don't get me wrong, we gave a lot of information, but we didn't give everything because there's a lot that goes down.
It'll keep you.
There's a
keep you
lot
up to
that
4 a.m.
Makishima does. There's a lot that Kagami does, and there's other crimes that that's happening within the crimes that Makishima's doing. There's a lot. There's more crimes. There's more people that they're hunting. So it's not, and then you get to see the multiple people that they hunt, the multiple stories. It's so much that's happening in this show. So that's all I really got to say. You guys want to say anything before we get out of here?
Give it a watch. You will be up pretty late. I can tell you right now. It's a great show so far.
Kobo?
I would say this. I've already pretty much said my piece. It's one of my top 10s. It's a far better anime than what I know most people are used to. Mm-hmm. And the fact that they put a lot of effort in the story, and it's a very adult themed and series. So it's not like it's you're going to get a good vibe from just the storytelling alone, but then you've got the technology, the character development, the animation styles. They're all from top studios and top people in the industry. You're not going to be disappointed with this one.
At all. So, but yeah, so that's this episode of Binge or Cringe, guys. Psychopaths, definitely worth the watch. Give it a shot, man. If you don't, you're missing out. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I have to say. You're missing out. But yeah, that's really it. We're gonna get out of here. Cobalt and all, thanks for joining me for this, guys. We'll be here again next Tuesday. What is next Tuesday's episode? Give me a sec. Next Tuesday's episode is season 2 of Baki.
Oh, I gotta watch Baki now. Season 2 of Baki.
You'll watch it and you'll finish it within a day. Trust me.
Damn it.
That's how good it is.
But I have to watch Psychopaths.
Yeah, but we already did this episode. You can finish Psychopaths later. It literally take you a day to finish season 2 of Baki. That's how immersed you get into it. Not to say you don't get as immersed as Psychopaths, but did you hear that, Cobalt?
It's Baki.
Baki season 2. I don't think it's here right now.
Baki season 2.
Yeah. So next week, 8 p.m. Catch us live for another episode of Binge or Cringe. We're going to be talking about Baki season 2, because where did we leave off? Yeah, because we already talked about season 1 of Baki, and now we're going to be doing season 2. So definitely join us. I actually, is it season 2 or is it? I can't remember if it's season 2 or if it's Baki Hama that we're doing. I'll double check everything, but yeah. So that's really it, guys. Thank you guys for joining us. As always, I'm your boy Ideal Tone, and I'm here to make that known that we are going to be seeing you guys next week at 8 p.m. Also, catch me tomorrow live at 9 a.m. I am going live with the new DLC for Pokemon. Okay, I'm going in. I already got the DLC. I'll wake up, eat some breakfast, and be streaming live at 9 a.m. for you guys. Also, I'm giving away shiny Pokemon. Okay, if you want to be in the giveaway, all you got to do literally is show up, and I will explain how the giveaway goes. I don't mind explaining it multiple times, but I have shiny Pokemon to give away to you guys. For those who want to be a part of the giveaway. So stop by, say what's up, and that's it. Come rock with me tomorrow as I stream.
What shiny Pokemon?
I have a bunch of them, though. A bunch of them. I was farming on the low. I didn't tell you guys. So,
well, I'm at work all day, so
I was farming and hunting on the low. So, but yeah, so I'll catch you guys later. Peace.